The Clemson Tigers are getting ready for the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium against Penn State, the Penn State Nittany Lions. A bit of I predicted, and this is embarrassing, but I will admit it because, I believe in accountability. I predicted these two teams to play in the postseason in the national championship. So this is quite the disappointment bowl for sure. Two teams with big brands, big fan followings, and big expectations that fell short. They'll try to end on at least somewhat of a high note. Clemson on a win streak, but when you go on a win streak late after the season's over, it's not the biggest deal in the world. And so while there's more interest and more focus on what changes will be made, there is a game to play, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But really, I want to focus on the players to watch, because in a game where the outcome doesn't matter that much, it's more about the players than the plays. It's more about what we learn about next year than what we get this year. And so with that, I will actually start with one kind of bigger picture thing and one player to watch for Penn State. Most of these, or the rest of these, will be Clemson players, but this one is a true star in Kaytron Allen, a running back for Penn State. Clemson hasn't had a guy like this since Travis Etienne. This guy's a real star. You can see his 88.5 PFF grade. That's like incredibly elite. We knew coming into the year that Penn State would have a great rushing attack with a veteran offensive line, Allen and Singleton, and that's why I was so high on them and had them winning the national championship. Obviously, the rest of the team didn't pan out, but Allen has been great. Now, can Clemson, without TJ Parker, without Peter Woods, how do they fare against a great running back? I don't know, right? Their rushing defense has been way better this year. It was so bad last year. How much of it was Peter Woods? Peter Woods' PFF grades this year have been sort of mediocre. But we'll see what this next line of guys can do. Can they stop the run? Can they stop the run without? I don't know what Woodaz's health situation is, but with that front seven losing some guys, let's see how they can stop the run. Let's see what these needs are on defense through the portal. Now, for Clemson guys, there's some guys I really want to keep an eye on. More so than the outcome, I want to see what kind of production do these guys give, and are they ready to play a major role next season? And number one among them is left guard Ronan O'Connell. Now, I'll admit it is a little hard to keep an eye on the specific lineman, but when it's only one, it is possible. And for me, that's Ronan O'Connell. This was a 3-star out of Tennessee, but I watched his tape and I was super high on him, maybe more so than really most of that class. He's a redshirt freshman, so next year he'll be a third-year player as a redshirt sophomore. I think he could be the starting left guard. He's got better PFF grades at 62.4. That's better than Sadler and Sewell. I've been kind of hoping he would start all year. Obviously, don't want an injury, but with Sadler going down, Dietrich Pennington and Ronan O'Connell will be at left guard. Like, you got to get O'Connell a good bit of snaps because he's the future. So hopefully Dabo Swinney is forward-thinking enough to do that. His PFF grades are particularly good in run blocking, which has always been a problem at Clemson, or at least in basically the Swinney era. So he's been better pass blockers. O'Connell in his high school tape, he pulls and moves with, he doesn't trip. He can move fast. I love this kid. I love his potential. Let's see it. Clemson's going to need probably two guys on the offensive line. If O'Connell can play well, that would be some relief, as they're probably going to need a tackle, right tackle and a center, I'm guessing, maybe even a right guard. Let's at least have it would be good if we could at least feel good about Braden Jacobs at left tackle, Ronan O'Connell at left guard, two young, kind of up-and-coming linemen. That would be a big relief. So I'm hoping for a big, impressive, or maybe not noticeable, which is always impressive for an offensive lineman, performance by Ronan O'Connell. I want to pause real quick and tell you how you could support this channel. Certainly liking this video and subscribing to the channel helps a lot. And another thing you can do is support our sponsors. One of them, Section 103. They released a line of Clemson apparel. This shirt is part of that line. This one features the Clemson cadence count. They have a lot of other different unique designs that hit on Clemson traditions. They have them on t-shirts. They have good-looking polos and hats. So jump over there, jump to their website, section103.com, and use code RYAN10 for 10% off so they know I sent you. All right, so next player up on this list is Vic Burley. This is a guy that I didn't get super into in recruiting. I don't know why. I had nothing against the signing. Obviously, he was a really high-star, 5-star kid out of Georgia. But I've been hearing a lot of excitement from fans for years. Well, next year's the year. He's got to show something now. So he's a redshirt sophomore already. He's going to be a fourth-year player next year. If this is going to pan out, it's going to happen soon. It could be like a KJ Henry situation. He was a big-time I don't remember if he was a 4 or 5 star, but he was a big recruit. He ended up redshirting, needed to add weight. He was kind of mediocre for a while. And then it basically took till like the end of his 4th year before he really started showing signs. Well, hopefully it doesn't take any longer because this is a big opportunity for Vic Burley. He's going to be splitting snaps with Champ Thompson now that Peter Woods is off the team. Time to really show out. He could be a starter next year, but if Clemson's going to rely on him and Champ Thompson, they need to see something from both of them in this game. I think Vic Burley's got loads of potential. That PFF grade of 67.1 is okay. It's not bad, but it says like good backup, good rotational guy, good third defensive tackle. It doesn't say starter. So let's see what we can get from him. He's got the size. He's got the pedigree. A dominant performance could change thoughts, expectations on him next year. It could impact portal needs. So he's a guy for sure to keep an eye on. Brandon Strozier is an interesting one. He's actually played a lot this year, 307 snaps, redshirt sophomore. So you've got Avion Terrell is out for this game. He's declared. I think he's probably Clemson's best player, Terrell. He's a little shorter. He's under 6 foot, so I don't know if he's a first rounder, but by production, he certainly should be. He's a stud, and it's going to be a huge loss. Now, you still have Ashton Hampton at cornerback. So you feel good about Ashton Hampton. Who's going to be opposite Hampton? Strozier is that guy, but I think this is a spot where you must get someone from the portal, and I think you probably want to get a starter from the portal. Let's see what Strozier does. He's looked better lately. Early in the year, specifically, I remember because it was right kind of where I was sitting against Georgia Tech, there was 3 straight plays where he got beat. He couldn't make tackles. There's been not as many as that. He's gotten better, but still that 63 PFF grade is not one you feel good about someone coming in starting next year. In the old sort of paradigm of college football, you pay your dues, you wait your turn. Next year, he's a redshirt junior. He hasn't been bad. Surely he'll take a jump. We've kind of seen that you can't keep betting on guys to take a jump because Clemson's been betting on guys to take a jump. Cade Denhoff was actually good this year, but the year before they bet on, hey, we believe Cade Denhoff is going to go from not good to good. And, last year that didn't work out and it cost Clemson. Now this year they brought in Helt and Denhoff was a backup and Denhoff was actually really good as a backup. So I'm not dishing on Cade Denhoff. I'm dishing on that kind of philosophy that, hey, it's his turn. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. Prove to me you're really good. This is Brandon Strozier's chance to prove that he could start. I still think I don't know that there's anything he could do in this game that would make me feel comfortable with him as a starter, but I would at least like to say, wow, he looked really good in that game. I'm excited about his future. He's going to be a big rotational piece next year and start the year after that. It's a 5th-year redshirt senior. That would be a good place to be. If he struggles again, I'm worried that you need multiple cornerbacks. So big opportunity for Strozier in Yankee Stadium. And then, of course, we got to talk about quarterback. Now, Klubnik start, which I guess is great. I mean, you want to win the game, but I think it would be more valuable if we could see these backup quarterbacks to see what we need. I don't know, maybe Coach Sweeney's playing coy and they're going to go out and get a big quarterback, but, they don't tamper. And we're hearing, connections of we've heard Brandon Sorsby, maybe he's going to Texas Tech. We've heard Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech. Maybe he's going to Florida. We're not hearing any sort of whispers about Clemson quarterbacks. I think they're probably going to get a starter, but we don't know. And this is an opportunity to see what we've got in Christopher Vizzina. He played that SMU game and he looked pretty good. So while, it's great that Klubnik wants to continue with the team and kind of finalize his legacy as a guy who's all about Clemson. I respect Klubnik for sure for that. Hopefully, maybe he only plays a half or ideally less, because I'd love to see Vizzina, and even more so than that, I'd love to see Chris Denson. I love Chris Denson. I think he's a unlimited upside guy. I was super impressed with him in the spring game. I was even more impressed with him in the Furman game. We have not seen enough from him, anywhere close to enough to believe he could be the starter next year. So maybe we could see more than 11 snaps in this game. I think it would be kind of like coaching malpractice to give him under 11 snaps. Give him an opportunity, and let's see how badly we need a quarterback to start next year. Look, if Denson can go out and in half a game and just dominate again, I'm okay not getting a quarterback, but we got to get some sample size. We've got one game of being kind of decent. Really, Vizzina wasn't good for a half and then was good for the second half against SMU. And we've got 11 snaps of unbelievable, but it's against Furman from Denson. So we have nowhere near enough sample to have any idea what we're getting from either of these guys. We've seen a little bit of upside, but again, do you just bet on it's their turn, they'll progress over this offseason? Because frankly, guys haven't progressed, and that's why Clemson's 7-5 this year. So would really, really more than anything love to see Vizzina, Denson. Let's get some snaps for them. Let's not kind of waste this sort of spring game opportunity on trying to get a win that doesn't matter that much. Obviously, I want to win. I want to have good memory in Yankee Stadium as a Yankees fan. That's really cool. But let's see some of these young guys. Let's learn about this team. I think that's what's most important here. I think we'll probably get some of that. I don't know if we'll get it at quarterback, but I think we're pretty close to guaranteed to getting it on these other players. Once again, don't forget about our sponsors. If you like this shirt, this is Section 103. I've got a great polo from them. They've got some really cool hats. So check them out. As always, thanks for watching.